Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the throne. With my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the throne. With my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, glowing up, but we still trapped. That's how a nigga survives. Flowing out, got the crowd packed. Yeah, that's how a nigga provides. Y'all insta this, y'all snap that, y'all diss this, and they snap back. Another mass shooting in the headlines. I'm like, damn, where that attack at? Cause y'all think this about race. They flaunt that shit in your face. It's like every day it's the same agenda. It's really not that hard to trace. Fuck it, we might as well face it. Accept it, whatever it's wrapped in. There'll come a day when they run out of grace. So me and my niggas stay trapping. Yeah, ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Hey, somewhat be too who I wanted to be and then what I became. Ended up going my own way, but I couldn't stay in my lane. Now if I'm honest, I've taken a liking to wearing these chains. They hold me down, make it easier when I start feeling the pain. Out of the overflow, your heart, they say your mouth speaks. Well, my heart must be fucked up, cause I can't speak and I can't sleep. So I stay woke in this daydream. Got shit to do, got the world to see. Got the same crew, got some new fleets. There's an empire, fuck a boutique, that's real. I only say what I feel, got a new plate with the same meal. On a new hype with the same chill. Y'all too fake, I stay real. Got cast down from heaven, but I'm too good to stay in hell. I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like, oh well, oh well. Yeah, I keep writing like, oh well, oh well. Yeah, hey, I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like, oh well, oh well. Yeah, oh well. We ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the throne. But my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah. This is that one song that you heard so many times, and every time you hear it, you're like, I'm not gonna bump to this song. But then you start catching a vibe. I'm sorry, not sorry. Yeah. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know. Yeah. Whoa. East Coast with that gang, gang. You know we don't play games, whoa. Hop up on that wagon, oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry, we just stuck up in our ways. West Coast gon' ahead, stand up, put that glass and hands up. Gang, 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 we famed up, got that change, we bagged up. Crew love, we stay manned up. Ahem like I'm Weezy, yeah. Rap game just too easy, drip so sick I'm queasy, whoa. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. Yeah. Watch me finesse. walk to the line. Good versus evil, God in his prime. Always in prime, always on time. Our time to shine, wifey is fine. I'm doing fine, glad that you asked. God fill me up, mud in my glass. God clean me up, all that I ask. Wherever you headed there fast. I am ahead, you are in last. Last time I checked, you were all gas. Gas in the whip it up fast. Fast and all furious, I'm starting to spaz. Getting all curious, you put me on blast. Blasting that Darius, kids in the back. Back to the future is black. Black like T'Challa, Wakanda attack. Oh. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lover with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lover with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lover with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lover with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Justin! I love you!
I love you! Go to the fucking gym. What a sport.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testicles testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 3027 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustlers, and yo-hos? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you be. All right, fam, welcome to Accountability Monday. We got Swole fam posts and responses from this weekend's Swole text. And as we do every single Monday, we have brand new releases that are inside Swolenormous X for members. So you can head on over there and join the fam today over at swolenormousx.com. We also have an app coming soon, which is going to be very exciting. So make sure that you are getting on the ground level, as members will have first access to the app. And it's an even better way to access all the amazing content inside Swolenormous X. So go and check it out. All the programs, yoga, meditation, masterclass, and so much more are over there at swolenormousx.com. Now let's get into the first Swole fam post.
What's in the box?
And this is every single Sunday I send out a text message. What are you focusing on to hold yourself accountable this week? What are you going to do in order to improve that? Ariel says, I've been focusing on mindfulness and consistency. I realize if I let every single thing bring me down, it's going to affect my mental health and trickle into the physical. Focusing on consistency is what is going to get me the results I need. I can't get to the gym only sometimes and expect results. Exactly. So, of course, do you have to lift heavy every single day? No, of course not. But you have to be consistent every day. And if you're not consistent every day, it is going to show. It doesn't mean that you'll get zero results. It just means you won't be optimizing the effort you're putting in. And if you're going to be spending time to work on your nutrition and to focus on your training, then you should be going all in. That way you're getting the maximum output. Brian says, as a new member, I'm focusing on learning the ins and outs of the site, planning on introducing yoga a couple of times this week, as I've never done that before. That's fantastic. A couple good options for trying yoga for the first time. One, I would also check out the Swollen 7 section and do a Swollen 7 mobility. That's a great way to kind of get your foot in the door for mobility. You could also do a Swolga class in the Swolga section, which are usually a little bit even shorter than the Express classes. And then, of course, you could try the Express yoga classes. So I would recommend, if anyone that's trying to get into yoga and mobility, to do a Swollen 7 mobility, to do a Swolga class, or an Express yoga class. Those are the best places to start because of the time commitment. You don't have to do an hour-long class. You're not ready for that. You don't need that yet. But there's also some great starter classes in the starter yoga class section. So those might be even up to an hour, but it's going to be at a level that you will be able to execute consistently. You'll be able to finish the class. In other words, it's not going to be a hardcore level 3 class. It's designed for beginners. So excellent. Danny says, this week I'm focusing heavy on giving up weekly, quote, cheat meals. I'm executing this by giving up my weekly cheat meal. Well, that would make sense. Okay. I'm focusing on giving up my weekly cheat meal by giving up my weekly cheat meal. Okay. So in other words, your weekly addictive cope is what we're going to call it. Instead of saying a cheat meal, there's no reason for it. That's just a thing that some people, a cheat meal is something that people say in order to justify their addictive behaviors. It's like calling smoking cigarettes or drinking alcohol a cheat meal. You might as well. It's just a way to frame it in a manner that you deserve it. It's a cheat meal. Well, I can do this because I do this. It's like, why are you going to shoot yourself in the foot if you actually want to run? Why are you going to damage yourself and screw yourself over if you're trying to make progress? Now, this doesn't mean that eating some certain piece of garbage is going to kill you unless you choke on it. It's not going to necessarily throw you off completely, but most often it really does. It's just a crutch. It's a way to keep your foot. It's a way to not have both feet in. It's a way to not commit totally, and it's a way to justify terrible habits. And there's no reason for it. It's just something that you're addicted to, which is why people have a hard time getting rid of it, because these foods are made to be addictive, and these ultra processed elements that are put in these foods are designed to get you to compulsively eat them. And that's why you can't stop eating them. And that's why humanity and humans, especially our culture, tries to justify all the reasons why you can eat these foods, because you're addicted to them. So you have to justify in your own mind that you're doing it for a certain reason, like a holiday or a celebration, or it's a football game. Oh, it's because it's here. Oh, it's because it's this, or it's because of that. There's always a holiday, a celebration, a weekend, a weekday, some sort of event that you're going to have these foods present. And the reason is because of the human need to justify bad behavior. All right. Diana says meditation first thing in the morning. So, of course, this is very short and sweet and a little bit vague, but that's good. I hope Diana is a little bit more specific with it on her end. So meditation first thing in the morning is great. I would recommend starting. If you're trying to start a habit, make sure you focus on 5-minute brain gains. And I said this over the weekend episodes. Make sure I'm going to send out a Swole text to people that I usually like to respond to the Swole texts that I'm sending out on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. But I definitely address a lot of these in the weekend episodes. So I will send out a message. I'll try to remember to do that today, to let those of you that I talked about in the episodes to go check it out. But make sure that you go and listen to this weekend's episodes, because we talked about meditation in, I forget which one it was, maybe Saturdays. And if you're trying to build a habit with meditation, it's much more important to do 5 minutes every day than 10 minutes every other day, or 20 minutes twice a week. So let's say you do 20 minutes 3 times a week. It sounds like a lot, right? It's 60 minutes, objectively more than 5 minutes every single day. So 5 minutes every day is 35 minutes a week, 5 times 7. Complicated math there. So objectively, 20 minutes 3 times a week is more, but it's not better. It's better to do 5 minutes every day because of the consistency, because of the amount of times and the amount of reps that you're getting into doing quality meditation. Now, the length will happen on its own. You will be able to do it longer. You'll be able to do things more dynamically. But the most important thing, this is not to say that you can't sit down for 5 minutes and end up doing 10, but your goal should be 5. So if you only are able to do 5, that's fine. If you can do 10, you could do 10, but the goal is 5. So in other words, you're either successful or you're even more than successful, but you're still setting that goal of doing 5 minutes. So being consistent is the most important thing. Being consistent is the most important thing. So don't think that you have to do volume. And when it comes to meditation, a lot of people think that if you're doing 5 minutes, well, it's not as good as if I did 10. It's not as good as if I did 20. If I did 30, I would be doing a lot better. Again, it's just like Maximum Swole, how we always talk about the intensity. It's not about the volume and how much you do. Same thing with meditation. It's really about the ability to tap into. And if you do 5 minutes twice a day, that's better than doing 10 minutes once a day. I'm telling you, 5 minutes twice a day is better than doing 10 minutes once a day. Think about that. And I recommend you try it, because if you can tap into that sweet spot, if you can get into that flow twice a day, for example, not saying you have to, but once a day, twice a day, you're able to do that more often. It's really about getting into that mindful present state. And then the more often you're able to do that, and the more efficiently you're able to get into that mindful present state, the more you'll be able to carry that through the rest of your day. All right. Jessica says, focusing more on recovery and particularly sleep, I have been overtraining and not sleeping enough, and I can tell it's affecting my inflammation levels. I've switched to Maximum Swole, and that was helping a lot, but I started slipping into adding more reps or doing more than I need to just because it's what I've been used to. So I'm going back to the basics of the program and rewatching the videos. Basically starting over and following the splits without modifying and adding, as well as setting an alarm to prompt myself to start unwinding and going to bed for the night. Okay, so we'll start with the last part first. Obviously, if you're trying to get to sleep earlier, it's really about all the habits, because everyone has their evening routine. I don't know what your evening routine is. Maybe you don't have one. I recommend you create one, but it's really the cascade of things that you need to do in your life to be able to get to sleep. You know, you got to check the doors, you got to wash your face or take a shower or take the dog for a walk, or dogs outside like we do. And, you know, you tidy things up, you prep whatever you need to for the next day earlier. So whatever you have to do in order, that's important for you to figure out. But then understand that if you're trying to get to sleep earlier or get to sleep at a certain time, that cascade has to happen earlier. You know, so the later you start that cascade of things that you do in the evening before bed, the later you're going to be able to get to sleep. So, and that's going to affect your ability to recover properly and get up early and feel better in the morning. So make sure that you understand that it's not just getting to sleep at a certain time. It's what time do those events have to take place? What time do all those cascade of events have to start in order for you to be prepared for sleep? Let's see here. Maximum Swole. So this is common when it comes to the volume and the intensity. The issue with Maximum Swole, and like I always talk about, is it's not about how much you do. It's the quality. It's the intensity. It's not about the volume. So you have to break yourself of that. So adding more reps, that's the last thing you want to do in Maximum Swole. It's like the antithesis of what you want to do. Adding more reps, doing more volume is the opposite. And I'm telling you, if you practice Maximum Swole and you get into that, I'm telling you, it will change your life. So Jessica, just keep going. Kylie says, this week I'm trying not to overwhelm myself. What I'm focusing on is better sleep and staying strict with my elimination diet. I will be going to bed at 9 p.m. every night this week, turning off all electronics so I don't stay awake scrolling. For nutrition, I'm throwing out all the junk food in my house and only eating things that are going to help me and my body. I have inflammation in my gut, so I'm going to be strict on the elimination diet. Before I eat anything, I will ask myself, how does this help me? And work on disconnecting my emotions from my food, as I realize this is the big problem that I have. Taking deep breaths before each meal to recenter my mind. Well, if you're eating properly, and of course, Kylie says she's going to be working on the elimination diet. If you have the good food around you and you don't have garbage around you, you can't overeat. So if you're eating beef and eggs and stuff that's going to be high quality nutrition for you, you're not going to overeat. So if you keep junk in your house, then that's a risk. You need to get rid of that. So any kind of processed foods should be eliminated from your house, shouldn't be around you, shouldn't spend time around with people that eat those things, spending time around events that have those things. These are addictions and you need to remove yourself from these situations, right? An alcoholic shouldn't keep alcohol in their house. Well, I'll keep it locked. I'll put it in your, sure, you have the key. So we know how that's going to work out. But sounds good. Getting to sleep at a better time is going to help with your nutrition. Just don't think of strict on the elimination diet. I think that's an issue. The elimination diet is not a strict approach. It's a liberating approach. So it's really how you frame it. If you're thinking about you're restricting yourself from eating all these other things, that's a problem. You're going to binge or you're going to fall off. If you look at this as, hey, I'm not going to be eating things that aren't food. Remember, most of these things that you're consuming that you have problems with, they're not real food to begin with. It's ultra-processed industrial waste. It's not edible food. You should not be eating these things. So it's not like you're restricting yourself from eating poison. It's good. You're not eating poison. So it's actually very liberating. And there's many, 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 many delicious foods you can eat. You just have to, it's really about what you're not eating. You have to get rid of all those things in your life. Marty says, this week my goals are to stay consistent with my workouts because sweat is fear coming out. Also working on my brain gains, learning to take time for me. Well, good. Good for the brain gains. Stay consistent with my workouts because sweat is fear coming out. Well, it's not, Marty. It's not. But if you want to think it's fear coming out of your skin, that's fine. It's definitely not. I kind of not sure why. Never heard that phrase before. I've heard the sweat is fat crying. That might be even stupider. But, yeah, okay. It's a way for your body to cool itself off. It's just a body function, but staying consistent for your health and to get you better results will be much improved. So be consistent, good for you, and definitely practice your brain gains. I'm just trolling you, Marty, but never heard that one before. All right, Roberto says, I need to start attending the accountability meetings. It will help getting back on track with the 7 pillars. I agree. The Tainty Man agrees. Let me just turn it on. I agree. Accountability Mondays are awesome. Yes, we have new releases coming up in a moment, but make sure that you are focusing on your 7 pillars every day. And the accountability means, hell, the podcast every day. This is what we do. This is what we talk about every day. The 7 pillars are absolutely essential. You could print them out. You could have them as your wallpaper. You know, they're designed that way so you can screenshot and you can put them on your phone wallpaper. But just make sure that you're looking through and you're addressing those 7 pillars. What are you doing to improve those 7 pillars every day? And it's very important to keep on coming back to them. And if you are lacking in any of those areas, then, well, it's up to you to adjust your habits in order to improve those. 2 more. We got one from Samantha. Samantha says, I'm focusing on my sleep. It has been absolute shit all month, and I cannot allow it to continue as I have. I don't want to be crabby ass anymore. Okay, cool story, Samantha. What the fuck are you doing about it? So again, when I say give me details and you guys don't give me details, I'm going to rip you for it. Give me some fucking details. Okay, your sleep has been shit. Cool story, Hansel. Like, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? You want to be crabby, okay? So how are you going to work on that? You're focusing on your sleep. What are you going to do to focus on your sleep? I don't want to know what the problem is you have. We all got problems. What are you going to do about solving that? All right, so give me some specifics, please, next time. Sydney, pillar number 6, mindfulness, and 7, consistency. These are 2 things I need to make sure I achieve every single day. My mindfulness needs to be practiced throughout my whole day. Meditation, yoga, training, making sure I'm always present and keeping my stress low. I get anxiety attacks a few times a week. Want to work on being present enough to realize that they're happening and stopping them in their tracks. I feel like it's the only way I'll be able to break free from the cycle. Consistency speaks for itself. I need to stay consistent with my workouts and being 100% present. I also need to be consistent with my nutrition and stay present enough to remember how great it is to feel amazing. All right. So when it comes to anxiety attacks, yeah, there's going to be certain triggers, but don't underestimate the ability of food to trigger anxiety attacks, panic attacks, very common, caffeine, different things like that. Different foods can cause anxiety and issues and sympathetic responses. So definitely important. Stay consistent. Make sure you address, and practicing meditation and brain gains can definitely help you maybe address or address or notice those triggers when they arise. So good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's get into some releases. Who's ready for some releases, fam? Great Swole fam post. If you haven't yet responded to that text, make sure you do. We'll get to some more tomorrow and the next day in the episodes. Let's see. Big O, more of a comment. I asked my 12-year-old how I look without a shirt. I've been working out, and he said, since you started going to the fucking... He said, great, since you started going to the fucking gym. My kids notice. That's awesome. All right. That's awesome. My kids notice. VAPG. Ve al puto gimnasio. All right. So we do have a couple questions. We can get into a couple more questions. I got some from Instagram. Oh yeah, we didn't do a Swole card. Hashtag SwoleFam. I don't have the Swole card out there, but hashtag SwoleFam will give away the Swole card at the end of today's episode. Hashtag SwoleFam will give a Swole card away. I don't have it over there right now. I did the same thing I did last time. I put it in the pile. So hashtag SwoleFam will give away that Swole card to one of you beaches. And let's see. Yeah, we're going to get into some questions. Yeah, we'll do those tomorrow. I don't feel like doing them. Let's get into those releases. How about that? Let's get into those releases. I don't feel like doing them. Unless there's a live question. We'll do a live question. I don't feel like getting into Instagram questions today. So let's just move on. If you have live questions, you could ask. I'll jump into one, but let's get into some new releases. Here we go.
What's in the box?
All right, we got some recipes. First, recipes. We'll get into shrimp and veggies. Bulk meal prep. Okay. I mean, I'm going to do a golf clap, but not for me. Looks like all veggies to me. Shrimp is probably the most overrated food. I think shrimp has no flavor. It's the most overrated food probably in the world. Same thing with lobster. No flavor unless you put stuff all over it. Yeah. Just because there are releases doesn't mean I like them. But maybe you do. Maybe you like them. Shrimp and veggies, bulk meal prep. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just trolling. But this is going to be for our new. We're kind of like redesigning some of the recipes, and we're gearing a lot of these recipes for meal prepping. So we have a whole bulk meal prep section for the app that we're launching. So it's going to be really sweet. So we're doing a bunch. So a lot of the latest releases for the recipes are geared towards that. Next one is hard-boiled eggs and sweet potato. So obviously, like I mentioned, these releases are not, you're making a fancy meal. This is, you're making bulk. So you're making it for the week. You're making it for a few days. You're making it for a week. So a hard-boiled egg, sweet potato, obviously, this is something that's probably going to be one of the easier things that you can make. Making sweet potatoes en masse is very easy. Hard boiling a dozen eggs, very, very easy to do. And it's a great way to make a lot of simple meals. So if this is up your alley, then this one's for you. Next one is, Cerny says, where's the beef? Well, here's the beef. We got...
Hi, puppy.
Some ground beef and butternut squash bowls. So for those of you that might have issues with, you're asking for finger foods or things you could eat on the go, again, anything you need to eat, period, you could eat on the go. You have to cut it or prep it or have a fork or in a container that you can eat on the go. So ground beef and butternut squash bowls, cool. You could do this with sweet potatoes also. And then again, we have this hard-boiled eggs with sweet potato and shrimp and veggies. So you could do, these are 3. And again, last week we did bulk meal prep. So these are all a lot of different options. And you could switch week to week. But honestly, for most of you, you're going to find a couple meals that you like to make, and you're going to make those on repeat, which is fine. As long as they're getting all your nutrition in, it's totally fine. Let's see. Big O, what are your go-to core exercises? I don't do, like, you just do crunches, but not crunch. You have to get full stretch range of motion. I don't do a lot of core stuff. Core is probably the most overrated thing you can do, to be honest. Any kind of quote unquote core training. It's lifting weights. You're training your core. You're doing squats. You're doing deadlifts. You're doing pull-ups. You're training your core. It's not like you're not getting core activation. Your core is everything but your arms and legs. So if you're doing any kind of deadlifts or RDLs, you're going to tell me that you're not getting your core activated? That's ridiculous. So if you want to strengthen your rectus abdominis, you have to do flexion and extension of the spine. And you can do that with your lower body. A lot of people just do hip flexor work, which is wrong, but you could do leg raises if you have a support on your back to get full spinal extension. And you could do, sit-ups, but you have to get a full stretch and full contraction. Some ab machines are okay if you can weight them. You could use weights to develop the muscles like any other muscle for hypertrophy. But core exercises, it's really, I don't want to say the biggest scam, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely up there with one of the most overrated things you could focus on. People like to see the muscles there, but that's just being lean. That's just not having as much fat. So we all have abs. I have abs. I just don't see them the way I used to because I've put on like 30 pounds. So it's really very overrated. If you're lifting heavy weights, you're stronger. All the muscles that you're building that strength inside and out. But if you're practicing yoga and you're doing mobility like that, you're going to get a lot. That's much more important because you're getting a lot of that core. Like I said, if you want to target the abdominal muscles, the rectus abdominis, you can do those. You could do, let's say draw-in maneuvers. You could do vacuums. You could do the crunches or the leg raises with spinal extension, spinal flexion. But if you're doing yoga, you're doing kettlebell work or stuff for strength, you're going to be working on that area. Punching Pelican says the most sore my abs have ever been was after a heavy standing overhead press workout. Well, the core is more activated. Like you're doing more to stabilize when you're doing overhead movements. So that makes total sense. But that's my point. So if you want to see your abdominals, you have to be lean, period. You could be really strong and have fully developed ab muscles. But if you're eating in a big surplus and your body fat percentage is much higher, you're not going to see them. So if you want to see your abs, that's not with weights, that's with the food you're eating. All right, we got a couple featured classes. These are featured classes. This week we rotate them through, and this is going to be how we do it in the app. We're going to rotate different classes through for unlimited members. So these are found in our yoga section, our training sections, inside Swolenormous X, but we feature them, put a highlight on them. If you haven't tried them, we recommend them. So Flow for Hips Express with Rachel. We also have Swollen 7 Core Round 5 and Total Foundation 1. So you'll find these in your featured Swole Studio section. And like I said, a lot of these things are going to be updated where you're going to find them in the app. And these are just, like I said, spotlight classes that you can try. You could find them elsewhere, but these are just, hey, if you haven't tried this yoga class, give that a try because we recommend it. So we rotate those through every week. And if you haven't tried this Express Flow for Hips, Rachel's classes are great. So give that a try. Now, we also have a new yoga class, and we'll take some more live questions if you have them. But we have a yoga class and we have new merch. New yoga class and new merch. And this merch is going to be awesome. It's very timely. A lot of you are going to fucking love it. It's just a great piece of merch. So let's get into this yoga class first. And any questions from anyone watching live?
What's in the box?
It shall be so. So brand new yoga class this week, level 2 morning flow with Alex. Still America. All right. Alex, level 2 morning flow express class. So most of what we've been releasing have been express classes because they're more popular, because it saves people time and you get more stuff done you don't have to set aside an hour to do your yoga. We have a lot of hour-long yoga classes too. But the morning flow level 2 express, great class with Alex. Go and try it. And I also want to make this point every time we release something that's not a beginner class or an all levels class. Just because you might be relatively new to yoga doesn't mean you shouldn't try a level 2 class. So what I think a lot of people think of is if it's not level 1 or starter or yin, if it says level 2, oh, I can't do that. I'm not ready for that. Yoga's hard for me. Well, you also don't know where you go. You don't know where you're going. If you've never experienced it. So I wouldn't say go from level 1 to level 3 or starter to level 3 or starter to level 2. Start with the level 1 classes after you go through the beginner ones. But try a level 2 class, and an express class is a great way to do that because it's shorter. So you don't have to worry about doing it for an hour. But you definitely want to try and challenge yourself. And it's okay if you have to stop or rest for a few moments and pause the video. That's the great thing. It's not a live class, so you don't have to worry about it if you pause it and rest for a couple moments or go to child's pose. But I would try it again and again and get better at it. So challenge yourself. If you're always doing what you're comfortable with, you're never going to grow and adapt. So if you're in a position where you have the opportunity, you feel good, and you want to try a level 2 class, not every level 2 class is automatically harder than level 1. It's not automatically harder because it really depends on where you're tight or what your weak points are. And every class is different. So maybe you'll be focusing on something that you're better at and you don't realize it. So try it. You could always scan through it and see what it kind of entails. But I would challenge yourself and give it a shot. You could always rest and pause and then try it again. So good stuff. Good stuff. Miss Texas Fit says, definitely trying the yoga hip class. My hips are so tight that it's messed up my lower back. Yeah, try the hip classes, the hips and twists. Try the yin classes. Those are fantastic. But again, for anyone that's thinking that, oh, level 2 is so far over my head, it might not be. So just because it says level 2 doesn't mean that it's going to be something that you can't handle. If you've tried level 1 and you could do that, I would try a level 2, at least to experience and see what the challenge or what the difference might be. Okay. All right. New merch. Any other questions? You could drop them in the chat. Let's get into
what's in the box?
New release, and then we will move on, and all you beaches can go to the fucking gym. And then, of course, we'll see you back tomorrow for 3028. Who's ready for new merch? I want to see it in the chat. Are you ready?
He's heating up!
Are you ready? Cerny wants new merch.
The more you hate me, the more you will learn.
Who wants some new merch? Merch me off, daddy. I know you like that. Okay, so we do have, let's see, tote bags. We have the new loose crop tops. What did we do last week? What did we release last week? I don't even remember what the last week's release was. Shoot, what was it? Oh, anyway, right now I'm wearing the bull milk shirt. I forget what it was last week that we launched. I thought it was a good shirt. I forget what it was. I don't even remember what the last week's release was. But if any of you, Taylor Swift, that was last week? Jesus, that's the longest week of my life. Why was it so long? Taylor Swift inspired shirt. Oh yeah, that's a great shirt. I can't wait to wear that. This one, you guys are gonna be. This one's gonna be like universally.
What's in the box?
Here we go. Maybe you've seen the new Marvel, Wolverine, Deadpool. Fuck all that. We got brand new merch. We got the deadlift merch. Let's go. Let's get a little America.
Boom shakalaka!
All right. So if you like the, I don't know, I didn't see it, but I'm a fan. They're funny movies. Like the Deadpool, Wolverine movie. We got a brand new deadlift merch, and there is a beard logo on his belt, so you can. Where's Waldo? That great design, awesome design. Mark likes it. Sheena likes it. Michelle likes it. Let me show you a little higher resolution because, you know, when I zoom in, I'll zoom in on these designs and then it'll look blurry just because of the resolution. But here's we got the full res design here. So we got the beard logo. There it is. Boom. So going to be awesome on a flag too. So Deadpool deadlift. Swolenormous condoms are coming next week. I keep on edging you guys. Next week. Not this week. Next week. Anyway, 20% off all new releases. So go check it out. papaswolio.com. Really stoked for this design. Came out great. So if you're new or you're not aware, we do new designs every single week. So this is probably right up there with Depth Vader. Depth Vader is a great design. We'll see. This might be an all-time design. I'll have to wait till I get mine in and then I can wear it in some videos. I haven't done new vids in a while, but I got to do some stuff with some of the new merch. So we got the bull milk design. Got to do, the Optimus Pump. We just did Optimus Pump. We got the Taylor Swift. We got Deadlift. Oh, yeah. We got so many designs. So many good designs. Optimus Pump, underrated. They're all underrated. I think every design's underrated. So many designs. Anyway, so Deadlift and Swoleverine. But now we just have the deadlift portion. So check it out. Brand new Deadpool deadlift design. Available, hopefully not for a limited time, but we'll see. We'll see if Disney comes knocking on my door. So don't wait for these new designs because you never know. You never know how long they're going to last. You never know. We've had issues before, but we've persevered. So a lot of you have the classics. You have your Depth Vader. You have, what were some of the other ones that might have got? They got a little bit. I think Depth Vader we had issues with. There was a different one. There was another one. Oh, it was Dora. We had some problems with. What was another one that we kind of had? There was one more, I think, that we kind of had a couple. And it wasn't, maybe that was only Swole. It wasn't a super big deal. We know how to get around them. But definitely give it a try. Check it out. That way, if it does get flagged, you got yours already. So they're printing now. Ooh, Beetlejuice. Yeah, probably. We need to get some more. We'll probably have to get that Beetlejuice one going real soon. I have a good idea for that. But we have a bunch. We're gonna start putting out our Halloween designs because I guess it's coming. I can't believe it's coming up already. But we'll have a bunch of. That'll probably be added to the list of new ones to come out before Halloween. The Shrek ones, I think the Shrek was fun. The Shred design, that was great. Yeah, well, I mean, this is definitely, it's definitely parody, but of course, you can't stop someone from doing shit, but it's fine. It'll fly under the radar. Not worried about it. Not worried about it. But if you like this design, anyway, just saying, always, if you like a design, don't wait to grab it because we've seen that before. There are certain ones, I forget, it's been so long, but we've had certain designs that did have to get removed or taken down that a couple of you got them and you have like a one-time print or we change the color. Like sometimes we tweak them after we launch them. We'll kind of edit them. And if you get them right away, sometimes you get a print that we'll tweak it after. I'll see something later on. I'm like, hey, let's adjust this a little bit. And then you might have a design that's never to be printed again kind of thing. So some of you have that already. You have certain colors of certain items that we got rid of a couple days after launch. So a bunch of you already have like some rare Papa Swolio releases. Dewey says, just got back from a walk. This fucking heat sucks. Where you live? Where you living? Where is it hot? Cerny says, I still have my OG pink drink shirt. Oh, the original design? Yeah. Yeah, so we redid that. So that started to get flagged, so we redid the, I mean, the new design is better, for sure. I think everyone agrees, like the new design with like the flexing, it's really great. The Fuck Your Pumpkin Spice, the new design that we did came out awesome. But the original got flagged. The original got flagged after a while, so we had to take it down. The old school one, when you compare them, certainly, do you have the new one too? So if you compare the new design to the old one, oh, it's so bad in comparison. The new one's so much better, but it's still a classic. The old one's still a classic, but the new one's so much better than the old one. It's so much better. So I'm gonna start. Well, I got the first tote bag in. I got my Fuck Your Pumpkin Spice tote bag. They're nice. They're nice. Quality's nice. So I'm gonna start using those for videos. But it's, I think, pumpkin spice season in 2 days. Isn't it the 22nd? Or 3 days? I think Fuck Your Pumpkin Spice starts in August, of course. The dessert fast food. Starbucks has turned into sugary fast food. It's disgusting. Anyway, Fuck Your Pumpkin Spice, and ain't that the truth? So we had a Swole Fam card. And today, I think today's Swole Fam card, I know exactly where today's Swole Fam card has to go. I can feel it. I can sense it. It's got to go to Big O. It's got to go to Big O, I think. Now, I don't have the Swole Fam card on the pedestal with Tessie, so Tessie doesn't have the Swole Fam card. However, Tessie, big fail. Tess Hornaday, but today it's got to go to Big O, because Big O's kid says he's looking sexy. So if you didn't see this comment before, I asked my 12-year-old how I look without a shirt. I've been working out. He said, great since you started going to the fucking gym. That's badass. That's badass. So Big O, send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3027 in the subject, and your mailing address in the body of the email, and we'll send you that Swole card, because that's awesome. Nothing more satisfying than when your kid's like, you're looking good because you're going to the fucking gym. You're like, goddamn right I am. Goddamn right I am. That's goddamn right. So, fam, thank you so much for being here. Enjoy your new releases. That's an all-time shirt. That's a great mug. That's a great flag. I need to get that on the flag. That's going to look good in a lot of different colors, but go and check that out. Any other questions at the buzzer? We're still working on the app. We definitely are making progress, but it's just going to take, it's still going to be earlier than I anticipated. It feels like it's taking longer than I anticipated, but I think it's just because it's been moving faster than I anticipated. So it was moving faster and it is moving faster, but it's one of those things where it's going to feel like it's not going anywhere. It's like, we're, trudging through, and all of a sudden I think it's just going to be like ready kind of thing. So definitely making progress. Don't worry. We're still on schedule. And for everyone that's eagerly waiting the app, it just feels that way because you're excited. But it's definitely moving faster than I thought. I think we're right on schedule. So stay tuned for that. And just wanted to give you an update on it. So if you're a new member, you came in at the right time, because this app is going to be fire. It's going to be fire. It's so great. The usability is fantastic. Just working out some different things and some kinks here and there, and linking and making sure that everything's working ideally. And then you submit it to Apple, right, for review, and they're like, hey, this one thing doesn't work, or this got rejected for this. You have to resubmit, and it's like a constant process of tweaking, adjusting. They test it. It's really fast though. It happens all the time. That's why you have versions. It's like 1.33.01, 1.33.02. It's because there's all these different like subversions and the tweak, and it's technically a new version. It has to be held for review. Then it's in review. Then it's approved or rejected. And it's just that kind of thing. So, but it's moving forward. And the process is been relatively smooth considering, but it's definitely moving in the right direction. So appreciate your patience, and I know you're excited. Stay excited. Stay excited. I'm still going to edge you. But tomorrow, we're going to get into some more awesome Swole fan posts, more questions. So if you have questions and you want to submit them for the show, you want to call in and you want to get in a little more detail of your issue, go to askpapaswolio.com and call into the show today. Record up to a minute, and we'll get to it in an upcoming episode. And of course, we got some balls deep content. So make sure that you are checking us out, swolenormousx.com. Download the 7 Pillars, join the Swole fam, check out the merch drops, and we'll see you tomorrow for 3028. And make sure you check out this weekend's episodes on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. They're fire. A lot of you that were responding, give me some details and stuff on how you're making your weekend awesome and what you're doing today, or any questions or struggling. Went into some solid depth. So you have 2 awesome episodes that you can get some additional insights. So you got some stuff to catch up into. And that's available on whatever podcast app you like. So if you do listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star review if you enjoy the show. Hit the like, subscribe, share the show with your friends. We are back to our normal. I mean, this is normal. Our accountabilities are normal. But we're back to another episode tomorrow for 3028. So enjoy the rest of your day. Go to the fucking gym, and we'll see you then. Peace, McGeese, deuce, Magoose. Yeah, boy. Papa Swolio. Oh, 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 oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I gift rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like...
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. Off topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies.